Hey everyone, this is Sean. Getting some comments and some likes, and everybody's asked me on how I do the conquistador braid, can koozies, and bottle koozies. Well, I promised y'all I try to do a video and get that posted so this way you guys can see exactly how I do this. But first off, yes, it is time consuming, but it's well worth it in the end. Uh, what I ended up doing was taking about a little 10 or 12 inch wooden dowel, and I marked out on there a 12-ounce mark and a 20-ounce mark. Um, it kind of depends on what kind of container you're making it for, but mainly I've been getting requests for the 20-ounce or the 12-ounce mark or the 12-ounce containers. They usually come out a little bit taller, and they'll go from that mark there all the way down to the bottom of the dowel. I normally start out with, I'll take some clips, kind of give an example here, some little plastic clothespins, and I'll clamp one end right here, and then I'll take and run it around and go all the way from here all the way down, clamp it over here, and then do about 13 wraps. This is just a sample right here. This has the 13 wraps. And then once I get down to the end of my 13th wrap, then I come back over, and as you can see here, I came over and went up underneath on this, and then I started another the second row on that one turn right there, but I try to put it right in between the dowel and that strand running right here, because once you get those first two rows going, then this way you can take those clamps off, and then you can start tightening it up and going from here. Once I reach a certain point where I get about, let's say about 3 or 4 courses in, built up 3 or 4 wraps back and forth, then I'll take it off the dowel and I'll just start building from there. Normally, I've already had some comments as to why I melted at a certain point. That's just the way it happened. Normally, what I try to do is any of my melting points, I try to melt towards the inside of the container. It's kind of hard to see here. Sorry, bad lighting. But I try to melt it on the inside of the container. This way it hides it and it's on the inside, and as far as aesthetics look, it's a little bit easier on the eyes, and you don't really notice it when you go to grab a hold of it. I'll give you a good example. Like right here, I melted it, and when I did, part of the melting point stuck out right there. It's kind of a trial and error. You kind of have to go back and maybe trim it a little bit more and remelt it, so this way you have all your melted points on the inside of your container. Usually what I end up doing is when I get to the bottom, this looks like kind of a menagerie of a mess, but it's not. You can see where I go around, loop it through. I used to do a crocheted bottom, but that got a little tedious, and I figured out this one was just run it through and loop it over, run it through, loop it over, and just kind of keep building around. I guess you can kind of say like a spider web pattern. This way the little centerpiece ends up being right there. The only reason why I have it on the outside like that is it's very hard to burn way deep down inside there. As you can tell, this one goes down pretty deep, and it's kind of hard to hold the lighter, let alone one of those long lighters, and try to make sure everything's melted together. So, but that's how I started off. For a 12-ounce container, I do 13 wraps. For a 20-ounce container, I do about 18 wraps. It works out pretty good, and this way they're pretty flexible. But it's a tight braid. I've had a lot of customers that love the braids, mix it up. I ask them which colors, As you can see here, these were all put together with scraps. Yeah, here's a good example of bad melting spot. But majority of them, a lot of people like the mix mash of colors because it's something out of the ordinary. Now, some people ask me, okay, how do you do the finishing point once you get it wrapped around the can? Well, what I end up doing is that last course, if I have enough, as on this one, I came down, melted right here, and then as I came up, let's see, yeah, I came down about right here on this point, and then as I came down, I came back up, and yeah, actually I came up and then started weaving the two together, the two sides, and it depends on some days. If you have it lined up just right, it'll look almost seamless. Other times, you get distracted while you're doing it because your assistant likes to help out on with your cord. But once you get down to the bottom, if you have enough length left over, you can actually start using your excess from here and start braiding your weaving in your bottom. That's normally what I try to do. Is any excess is I'll start the weave that way, so it's still one continuous piece. And again, I'll just melt those points together and then go from there. Like here's a spot here where it was melted in with the camouflage color. But in the end, folks like them. It's one of a kind. Again, I got a 12-inch dowel. I got points marked for 12 ounce, 20 ounce. And as I go through, I try to measure around either a can or a bottle. I have one of each. And if somebody asks for a little bit more slender can, like the smaller cans, like say your Red Bulls, I'll go out and actually buy one, but I won't drink it. But I'll use that can to model my paracord around those items. So this way I can kind of get a good fit. I try to get it snug. I don't want them too loose. So this way it works for the best. This is, like I said, this is just a sample, but here's kind of an idea on what you can do. If you have any questions, please feel free after I post a video to shoot me some comments, or you can instant message me, and I'll send you some more pictures if you need to. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Bye.